What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel. I hope all y'all having a great day. I am getting started on taxes. So I get asked this all the time, pretty much every year, and it's like, hey man, can you do a video about doing your crypto taxes? And the problem is everybody's situation is a little bit different depending on what state you live in, what country you live in, what you do for work. Are you self-employed? Are you running your crypto mining through a company? There's just a lot of different ways to do it. And now let me start off with just right from the beginning of this video that this is not advice. This is not financial advice. Don't listen to me. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on one second. All right, guys. So, like I said earlier, this is not going to be financial advice. This is all for entertainment. If you learn something from it, consider yourself lucky. Now, what I do typically, and this is not right, this is not wrong. I don't actually know if it is. I assume it is. I hope it is. Because the number one thing is you don't want to get yourself in trouble with the tax man here in the United States of America. Number one goal, keep ourselves out of or off any kind of lists or anything like that. We want to stay A-okay. We want to pay. I'm glad to pay my taxes. I will pay my taxes as long as they don't bother me. Yeah, I know so many people that are worried about like, pay out to here and all these loopholes and like get gift cards and you ain't got to pay taxes. No. I'm gonna tell you what, that stuff's gonna catch up with you. And if you plan on actually scaling and growing in size on a mining operation, you don't want to do that. Pay your taxes. Stay away from the jail, let alone on top of it. Just stay away from it. But anyway, I do write off my graphics cards. I do write off motherboards, power supplies, parts in general. I also write off my internet, and I write off a portion of my power. I use TurboTax like the professional, self-employed, like you gotta pay a little bit extra, but it unlocks all this extra stuff that it does guide you right through it. I've been using TurboTax for years now. I run my own company. I also have my YouTube income, and then I've done some small stuff here and there. And TurboTax literally will guide you through it. And now they have more areas that's tailored towards the crypto side of things. But before I even enter that stuff into TurboTax, my crypto-related stuff, I do use CryptoTax Trader. CryptoTrader.tax. That's what it is. Yeah, CryptoTrader.tax. That's the actual URL. And they're pretty cool because you can link with the API. I use Coinbase and then Binance US, and they can tap into that and like import all your stuff in. Super simple. And then you can just it basically asks like, was this mining income? Was this a buy, sell? It like finds all that kind of stuff. It will auto-populate a lot of it, but it does have some hard time with some of your like mining income. I noticed I guess it's less typical, but it's becoming definitely more common. Yeah, so I write off the power, I write off my graphics cards and stuff. I don't list them as assets, I write them off as expenses. I don't plan on, it's not like a car. A lot of them are high value, but in relation to like assets, I think assets are, hold on one second, I got my computer right here. What is an asset? So the definition of an asset I thought there was like a value. It's like what, over 1,000 or over 1,500. Anyway, the definition is an asset is any resource or economic value that is expected to provide future benefit to its holder. I guess that's pretty vague. But the big thing is I look at it like graphics cards are a part of a mining rig. If I was buying an entire assembled mining rig, I would probably list that as an asset. But it's kind of like when you go and work on your truck for work purposes. Say if you have a work truck and it breaks down and you put an alternator on it, and that's what it needs, I'm not writing off my alternator as an asset, even though some alternators can be $200, $300, $400, $500, $600. that alternator is an expense. A graphics card, in my opinion, it's a part just like anything else. That part can burn out. You slap it inside of a mining rig, especially if you're building your mining rigs. I list those as expenses. That may be wrong. Like I said, I'm definitely not a tax I'm not a professional in anything. Yeah, so just I don't know. That's what I've been doing. It seems to be working. I'm gonna keep on rolling with it. I also do write off, and this is something that I believe you only get if you're running your stuff through a company, because I run all my income through my LLC, limited liability company, and you get a standard vehicle deduction, and you can basically use that and put in the minimum amount of miles, and it'll give you a vehicle deduction if any of your income had anything to do with a vehicle. Well, you got to have a vehicle to drive to go pick up stuff and drop off stuff and set up stuff. Vehicles are absolutely necessary, so I've never gotten any kind of kickback over using the standard vehicle deduction at the minimum miles allowed. It also states you don't have to keep up with mileage, that kind of thing. That's pretty great. If you're not running through a company, I don't believe you actually get the standard vehicle deduction, so that kind of stinks. But those are kind of the big things. You write off your hardware. That's why it's so beneficial to not just sit on your money, but to actually reinvest your money, because then it saves you on taxes at the end of the year. Now, if you're sitting on it for a long term and you're not selling it and using the money for frivolous things, you're actually just sitting on your crypto, then you're essentially just waiting to do like long-term capital gains when you sell it off in a year, 2, 3, blah, 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 down the line. And that's another big one. So mining income, I do list as actual income, because it is income. It's not a buy. You didn't buy it. It's being paid out to you. And some people are like, oh, well, when do I need to report the value of the income? So once it's paid out from the pool and it hits your wallet, that's when they assess the value. So if you mined up and you have your pool set to pay out at $1,000, if it's at $900, you're not responsible for that yet. And that's the way I interpret the law, by the way. Obviously, it may not be true, but that $900 is not in your possession yet, so you're not responsible for that income yet. Once it hits that $1,000 or whatever you have your set point to your payout point, and it hits your account and it's in your wallet, that's when you're responsible for it. If it goes up in value, so it went from $1,000 to $1,100, you have the income tax at $1,000, and then you have $100 of gain on that. If you sell it real fast, it's short-term capital gains. If you hold it for a long period of time, I don't know what the period of time is. I'm horrible with this stuff. How long for long-term capital gains? More than 1 year, more than 1 calendar year before you dispose of it. So if you hold it for more than 1 year, that's long-term capital gains. Short-term capital gains are as a higher percentage than long-term capital gains. It pays to hold. You know, if you're a hodler, that's a good thing. And yeah, that's the big ones. Now, obviously, I'm literally just scratching the surface. But I guess the big takeaway here, this is not a how-to guide. This is just me telling you, if you want to play, you gotta pay. Unfortunately, obviously, there are some places in the world that you don't have to worry about taxes. And man, I wish I was there, but then at the same time, do I? I don't know. But comment down below, let me know what you guys are doing. Are you writing off your graphics cards? Are you writing off power? Or are you just eating the entire tax bill? Because, oh my gosh, I made quite a bit of money mining throughout 2021, and if I don't write stuff off, I don't know how people do it, other than like hide it. But man, don't hide it. Just be safe. Be safe out there. All right, guys. I'm gonna hop off here, and I'll see you on the next one. I got work to do. Time to start entering stuff in. Later.